Brian Demar Jones, Tom Robinson.
Do you swear the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
You're Tom Robinson, 25 years of age, married with 3 children, and you've been in trouble with the law once before. A 30-day sentence for disorderly conduct. What did this consist of?
Got into a fight with another man. He tried to cut me, but it wasn't much, not enough to hurt.
Were you both convicted?
I had to serve my time because I couldn't pay the fine, but he paid his'n.
Were you acquainted with Miss Mayala Violet Ewell?
Yes, sir. I had to pass a place going to and from the field every day.
Whose field?
I work for Mr. Link D's.
You passed the Ewell place to get to work. Is there any other way to go?
No, sir, none's I know of.
Tom, did she ever speak with you?
Yes, sir. I tip my hat to her as I go by. And one day she asked me to come inside so I could bust up a shiffer robe.
When did she ask you to chop up the shiffer robe?
Mr. Finch, it was way last spring. After I broke it up, she asked me if I reckon I'll have to give you a nickel, won't I? And I said, no, ma'am, there'll be no charge. Then I went home. That was way over a year ago.
Did you ever go on the place again?
Yes, sir.
When?
I went lots of times.
Under what circumstances? Why did you go inside the fence lots of times?
She called me in. It seemed like every time I passed by yonder, she'd have something for me to do. Chopping kindling or toting water for her.
Were you paid for your services?
No, sir. Not after the first time she offered me a nickel. But I was glad to do it. Mr. Ewell was not always helpful, and neither were the children. And I know she didn't have any other nickels to spare.
Were there other children?
They were always around all over the place.
Would Miss Mayala talk to you?
Yes, sir, she talked to me.
Did you ever, at any time, go on the Ewell property? Did you ever set foot on Ewell property without express invitation from one of them?
No, sir, Mr. Finch, I did not. I wouldn't do that.
Tom, what happened to you on the evening of the November 21st?
Mr. Finch, I was going home as usual that evening, and when I passed the Ewell place, Miss Mayella was on the porch like she said she were. And it seemed real quiet like, but I didn't know why. She called to me to come up there and help her a minute. Well, I went inside the fence and I looked for some kindling to work on, but I didn't see none. And she says, "No, I got something for you up in the house. There's this old door's off its hinges." And I said, "You got a screwdriver, Miss Mayella?" And she said she had. Well, I went up the steps and she motioned me to come on in. I went in and looked at the door. And I said, "Miss Mayella, this door look all right, 'cause those hinges were all right." Then she shut the door, Mr. Finch. And I was wondering why it was so quiet like, and finally it come to me. There were no children around the house, and so I said, "Miss Mayella, where are the children?"
Go on, Tom.
I say, "Where are the children?" And she says, she was sort of laughing. And she says they all gone to town for ice cream. She says, "It took me a slap year to save them nickels. But I done it, and they're all gone to town."
Tom, what did you say then?
I said something like, "Why, Miss Mayella, that's mighty nice of you to treat them." And she said, "You think so?" And I don't think she understood what I was meaning. I meant it was smart of her to save like that and nice of her to treat him.
I understand. Go on.
I said I best be going. I couldn't do nothing for her, and she says, "Oh, yes, I could." And I asked her what, and she says, "Just step over that chair yonder and get that gift off the box." On top of that chiffer robe.
Not the same one you busted up.
No, sir. A different one. Most as tall as the room. So I done what she told me, and I was just reaching when she grabbed me by the legs, and I got so scared that I hopped off the chair and turned it over. And that was the only piece of furniture disturbed in the room. I swear for God.
What happened after you turned over the chair? Tom, you've sworn to tell the whole truth. What happened after that?
When I got down off of the chair, she sort of jumped at me.
Jumped? Violently?
No, sir. She hugged me. She hugged me. She hugged me around the waist. She said she had never kissed a grown man before, so she might as well start with a nigger. Kiss me back, nigger. And I said, Miss Mayella, let me go, let me out of here. And I tried to run, but she got her back to the door, and so I had to push her. I didn't want to harm her, Mr. Finch. I didn't want to harm her. And I just said, let me pass. But just as I was saying it, Mr. Ewell come yonder and hollering through the window.
What did he say?
Something not fitting. Not fitting to tell in front of these folks and these children.
Tom, you must tell the jury what he said.
He says, you goddamn whore, I'll kill you.
Then what happened?
I was running so fast, Mr. Finch, I don't know what happened next.
Tom, did you attack Mayella Ewell?
No, I did not.
Did you harm her in any way?
No, sir.
Did you resist her advances?
Mr. Finch, I tried without being ugly to her. I didn't want to be ugly to her. I didn't mean to push her or nothing.
Let's go back to Mr. Ewell. Who was he talking to?
He was talking to Miss Mayella.
Then you ran.
I sure did.
Why did you run?
I was scared, sir.
Why were you scared?
Mr. Finch, if you was a nigger like me, you'd be scared too.